Johnie, wasn't that like the first thing in your house?
No. Yes. Yes. It was the first thing at somebody else's house, and then I had to go find it.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm like, oh Lord, I was in a very, very odd headspace right there, because I'm like, some mother trucker done stole my stuff off the doorstep, and now I got to go hunt the neighborhood. I'm waiting for somebody to come out with a big box down to the dumpster, and I'm kicking your ass. First. I'm 9 years old, 90 years old. You getting it? You getting that? Ain't nothing else here except this, and then it's not here either. Oh, I was not.
There's this. I gotta find it. There is this. Okay. Oh, this whole. I gotta, because I was rocking my 7 for the last 5 years, and finally the phone gods were like, nah, no.
Done.
So I saw this and I was praying it transferred over with my phone. So anybody ratchet knows this. And it says, for I too have knucked and bucked and been ready to fight. We knucking and bucking and ready to fight. Particularly anybody who lived in the ATL during the 2000s era really understands the crux of their argument. Hi guys, welcome to Friday Horror-scopes. Thank you guys so much for. Almost forgot we went live and we had people streaming in. I was like, it was 3 of us. I am so excited to be here. You know how Johnie has been so gracious to come back every month to help me do this. Maybe he's a glutton for punishment, or he's just a really sweet guy. I think it's both, but thank you, Johnie, for joining me. We've got the amazing Lauren she rebranded, so now you're actually Lauren Margulies and not BSY. Or
BSG.
Which is probably why you changed it, because my ass can never get it right. We've got a great lineup. You know how we do this, guys. We're going to go through the entire horoscope, zodiac signs. But we added something special. Lauren is going to kick off the beginning part because there's a whole bunch of astrological zippity-doo-dahs that are going to happen this month. And so she's going to give us the heads up on what to expect, what that looks like. And then Johnie and I are going to go through the horoscope. So thank you so much, Becca, for your super chats. May that be returned to you in like the next 5 minutes tenfold. Well, I like to claim it. So that's pretty much it. We're just gonna hang in there. Lauren's gonna kick us off with astrological get down, because she and I talked earlier today because I had a question and I was like, so listen, the red and the blue orange moons come up. What does that mean? And she's like, that doesn't exist, but let me help you try to make sense of what really happened. So but you brought up some really good stuff. And I marked down the 25th, 28th, one of those of March. 28th. And the 13th, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So, yeah, I can't wait for you to explain to everybody what all of that means. So I'm really looking forward to it. I want to start off with housekeeping. Thank you guys for the lovely comments. I'm feeling my Delta Burke 1980s / Crocodile Dundee look.
Not Delta Burke and Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee and Delta Burke meshed in the 80s.
Delta Burke, Indiana Jones.
Anthony.
Who be the Belt of the South and the Tomb Raider all at the same
Okay, I don't know about anything else, but it's been a really long week. So I just needed to get into some kind of costume to kind of help pull me through tonight. What happened? And truth be told, it's because I'm wearing this little raggedy black shirt and I didn't feel like taking it off. So I had to dress around the black shirt.
It worked.
I'm sorry. But for real, housekeeping. Tomorrow night, Petty Party with Jace or Naj. Go check her out, please, 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 at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Johnie, do we know what the topic is for tomorrow, or what our agenda?
I don't think we ever know, so it's all right.
Y'all will know when we know, and it's going to be freaking fantastic. So please.
It works better that way.
It does, because you know how we do. So please go check us out. Please support Jace. Please, please, please subscribe to her. Johnie, you guys are live Sunday on Becca's channel, right? House of Lenormand.
I don't know. It ain't mine, so it's one of them.
Okay. Becca for House of Lenormand. Johnie, any housekeeping items you want to bring up as well? Any future collabs or anything?
Next week, I'm trying to do a non-political live stream. So I don't know when though, because I ain't actually nailed that down. I'm still taking questions though, if you want to go to the community tab and leave a question. Non-political, it doesn't have to be pop culture, just non-political.
Because sometimes we need a break from that.
Yes.
And I think it will really help with everybody's mental health to take a break from the politics and kiki and giggle and ask Johnie some silly questions. So I love it. I know I'm a watch with maybe a cocktail in hand to get my 19 chakras on. And then Lauren, please tell everybody about where to find you. You've been doing some amazing meditations on your YouTube channel. So can you talk about that really quickly?
Thank you. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's Lauren Margulies, and I post mostly meditation videos, but also some yoga videos. And I've done some astrology-based meditations recently. And then yesterday I uploaded a nervous system reboot because I feel like the stress levels are just astronomical, and I just want to help people chill.
And I did your lucky girl beat me to it. Thank you, ma'am. I did her what was the last because I texted you while I was trying to
yesterday.
Yeah, the nervous system reboot. And I know you were like, the meditation isn't effective if you're texting while trying to meditate. It was absolutely very moving. So please go check Lauren out. Lucky Girl put her link in the description. So check her out. So since we left off with you, why don't we kick off with you? Talk to us about what the cat snatch to expect for this Pisces season.
Yeah, well, Pisces season is a good one. We've got lots. March is one of the best months of 2021. So enjoy it while it's here. Take it in stride. And there's a lot of good things happening. So Venus moved into Pisces last week, and Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. So what that means is it's in its happy place. And Venus is our planet of love and attraction and feel good. And so when she's in a happy place, that gives us all that extra energy, especially if you're a Pisces like me, but also if you are mutable, and this is not just sun sign, it's also about where you have other planets. So if you don't know that, reach out to me and I can help you with that. But anyone who has planets in mutable signs will feel that little extra sense of benefit from having Venus in Pisces. Other major thing that happened today is Jupiter and Mercury are conjunct. And Jupiter is the planet of abundance and expansion. Mercury is the planet of communication. So today is an amazing day to be doing this, a live situation but also a really good day to write emails to people, really good day to communicate. So if there's something you wanted to get off your chest, this is your sign, today's your day, write it out. Even if you don't send it today, put that pen to paper and use that extra that added energy and use it towards your benefit, because it's huge bonus and it's good. It's positive energy. Another major thing that happened yesterday, we got lots going on. Mars changed signs, and thank goodness for this one, because Mars has been, go ahead.
What does it mean when a planet changes signs? What does that mean?
So planets are always moving throughout the solar system, and some planets move really quickly and some planets move really slowly. So the moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days. The sun changes signs once a month, which is how we know our birth charts. Our sun sign is, the sun stays there for about 30 days. Venus is usually a month or two, just depending on if they have retrograde cycles. Mars is usually about 2 months. Mercury is always right with the sun, so about a month or so. But then we have the slower moving planets like Saturn. Saturn's about 3 years. And then after that, we have Uranus. Uranus is about 7 years. Neptune's about 14 years. Pluto's about 21 years. So it depends on which planet you're talking about. But as they move around the solar system, they can change signs depending on how fast they're moving. So the personal planets are the ones that affect us the most. Those are the ones that move quickly. The slower moving planets are the external planets that affect us in big ways, but in a much slower paced way.
So does that mean that since it's slower, we're about to be jacked up for a little bit longer?
No, well, so
really good for a little bit?
No, well, Mars changing signs is good. Mars moved out of Taurus, and Mars is in its detriment in Taurus, which means it is not happy to be there. Mars is like, doesn't feel comfortable there. Mars is just, it's fixed energy is Taurus, and it's fixed earth. And Mars is like aggression and fire and moving forward, and it doesn't want to be fixed earth. Like those two things are not compatible. So Mars moved into Gemini, and Gemini is communication. So this is another reason that I was saying time to communicate. Gemini. Mars is like helping bring fire to our ability to communicate. It's also, it pushes things forward because Gemini is very fast moving air. So when Mars is in air, there's just this compatibility between our energetic body, our will, and our ability to like put it out there and our ability to communicate it. So this is a huge benefit. And Mars is there, I think, for about 2 months. So this is good. Extra bonus with that. Yeah. A couple other big things that I talked to you about are, of course, always like the moon dates are always really big for me. So the lunar cycles are based on new moons and full moons, and those are happening every 2 weeks. So the next new moon that we have is a really big one, especially if you are a Pisces or have planets in Pisces, or again, if you're a mutable sign, like super powerful new moon, which is happening on the 13th. The reason this is such a big one is that new moons are always when the sun and the moon are in the same sign at the same degree. So the sun and the moon both will be in Pisces. Venus is still in Pisces. And also we have Neptune, which Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces, which he's there. He's already been there for 10 years. He's there for a lot longer, but they're all meeting up within like a degree of each other. So when planets are really close to each other, there's this much bigger energy, much bigger effect. And Neptune is like our higher consciousness of love. Venus is like our more interpersonal love. So it's like all levels of love are coming together with a new moon. Super powerful, like amazing time to set intentions, amazing time to like really tap in. Meditation is a really powerful tool for that. But I invite you on the 13th to spend some time, some quiet time, just internalizing what you're hoping to create in your life. You'll have extra benefit with all those planets together. Really powerful.
And can I also say, well, not say, but ask, where can they contact you if they would like their charts done?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I have, there's a way to find that. It's Calendly. If you've used Calendly before, is a website, and it's /Lauren Margulies. So it's
Lauren,
just Calendly.
You sent out, is it in the, yes, it is. I'm going to put a link because you sent out your
link
today.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right. It was in my newsletter today, but thank you. Okay. So other really big news, and I know Adrian, you're going to love this one, is that until May, we have no retrograde planets, none, which is not usual. Like usually there's at least one planet moving backwards. Now, as an astrologer, retrogrades are not a bad thing. Like I have to say that, even though people sometimes feel challenged by retrogrades are about us being more internal, which doesn't really go with our society. So it's like, it kind of is at odds with what we're used to doing. But because of that, because there's no retrogrades for at least the next full month, I think it's until May is when Mercury goes again, there's a lot of forward action. So between Mars moving into Gemini, between this conjunction of Jupiter and Mercury happening, this new moon, lots of forward action. So really good time for not only considering your intentions, but a really good time for like starting those pieces, not just thinking about it, but starting to put those, the things that you're thinking about doing. The time is great. The timing right now is good to put one foot in front of the other and move towards your goals. Huge power in that, because there's nothing holding us back by moving backwards. And you'll have time to consider these decisions later when the retrogrades happen, but now's not the time. Now's the time to like use this energy and move forward. So super good time for like new business ventures, new ideas, and Mars in Gemini is like new ideas too, because Gemini is all about ideas and Mars gives us that extra power. Lots of benefit with that. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is the next full moon. The next full moon is on March 28th, which you mentioned. And this is where the sun will be in Aries, because the sun will move into Aries on the solstice. I'm sorry, the equinox. The equinox, we're in a different season now. And that's happening on March 20th. So the equinox is where we move into spring and the sun will move into Aries. And so it's the beginning of the new zodiac calendar. So it's a really like, it's a fresh start, which I love. It's a time for us. For me, it's like we've been in this, excuse my language, shit show pandemic. This is like a full year, and that like literally marks the timing of the year. And for me, I'm hoping I'm putting it out into the universe. There's going to be some like forward moving motion with closure to that, because it's like the ending of this cycle, because it started right at the beginning of the zodiac year last year. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that that's part of what's moving forward. So the equinox again is on the 20th, but that means the sun is in Aries, and that full moon happens 1 week later on the 28th. And this is a big one for you, Adrian, because the moon will be in the opposing sign of Libra. And so anyone who has planets in Aries or Libra are going to feel this extra strong. And this one is amazing because Venus is going to end up moving with the sun into Aries around that time. And so you're going to have the sun with Venus again, and they're also coming together with Chiron. And if you don't know anything about Chiron, he's actually not a planet. He's this like, they sometimes feel the worst planet, or they call it he's not an asteroid. People don't actually know exactly what Chiron is, which is kind of crazy, but his moniker is the wounded healer, which I just love that, because we all have this wounded healer in us when we like look to our own the stuff we've dealt with and how we've navigated that. We can use those tools to help other people. So the sun, Venus, and Chiron are all going to come together in Aries for that full moon. Full moons in general are always about thankfulness, gratitude, but there's so much in full moons that are about release, like letting go. So because the sun is with Venus, the love, and the wounded healer, to me, this is just like an absolutely profound time to release past trauma. Like it is like the stars are aligning to give us this extra boon of positive movement forward, letting go of the old stuff that's held us back in the past, letting go of those old stories that we still hold on to because we think it's like part of us, and knowing that you can continue to shift and grow and you don't have to hold on to those old stories. They're still a part of who you are, but you don't have to define yourself that way. And to me, that's what this full moon on the 28th is going to be all about. Like, how do you want to define yourself, and how do you want to move forward with the stories that are already part of you, but not clinging and holding on, but like letting those be in the past and creating space is really what it's all about. Space to be the newest, best version of yourself. So big day on the 28th for that full moon.
Fucking love it. I love it. There's a question in the chat for you. Yeah. What does a void sign mean?
Oh, a void. So the moon is what moves through voids most typically. And what that means, it's when the moon is changing signs, there's this point where it's kind of in between. It's not fully in the next sign. So it's kind of in this void space. And when the moon is in a void space, which happens every couple of days, sometimes it's for like a few hours, sometimes it's for a lot of hours. It's really just an invitation for us to be more internal, because the moon is our subconscious. It's our sometimes unconscious. And so when the moon is in a void and it's not fully in that sign yet, we're just invited to use those hours to be reflective. But it's not a bad thing.
So that's your own moment, guys.
Exactly.
Johnie, do you have any questions for Lauren?
No.
My brain is still like.
I understood it while she was saying it.
Yeah. 13.
Yeah,
set intentions. 28.
Exactly.
Let go of bullshit.
Because mind you, I say this, and I always get people. Yes, it is. Listen, I always say astrology isn't a science because it changes from person to person. But when we talk about distant planets and closer planets, that is a science. Yeah. Yes, further away from the sun you get, the slower you move. Yeah. And so that up there does affect you down here. That part is proven, whether science wants to acknowledge it or not.
Right.
Yes.
So that it made sense to me. So no, I got it.
I love that. Yeah. So write down those dates though. The 13th is the new moon. Set those intentions, start putting action towards those intentions. And then on the full moon, revisit those intentions, let go of anything that you're ready to let go of those old stories on the 28th. And those are the most powerful dates of the month. So
Well, I do have one question though.
Yeah.
During the phases of the moon, are there in particular things that you need to do? Like if it's a crescent moon, if it's a this moon, are there anything that you need to be looking at, paying attention to, or doing during those times, or just full moon, new moon?
Well, so the new moon and the full moon are the most potent parts of the moon cycle, but we also have, so it starts in a new moon, and then we have the quarter moon, which is where we have this kind of crisis moment of like, are the intentions really what we're striving for, and is the universe going to help kind of provide? And then we reach that full moon, and that's really time to like let go of whatever intentions we realize are not serving us. As the full moon starts to dissipate, we go back into that third moon, that waning moon. And the waning moon, there's less energy present. So I always tell people like that's more the time to kind of release and be more internal. Whereas like when you're starting with that new moon, there's extra energy that builds with you towards the full moon. So paying attention to lunar cycles is such a powerful way to be more aware of like the world around you, but also the world within you. And so I highly recommend looking into those. But yes, there's different parts of each phase, and there's really 8 different parts of the moon cycle, but that's a lot. So I typically, for people who are newer, new moon, full moon is enough that you're going to get a lot of power in those phases. So that's what I tell people to look to first.
My dad has been saying this since I remember the first time hearing him say this. I was 5. He's like, for this, the thing that controls and can change the waves in the ocean, how do you think that's not going to impact you? You're crazy.
Exactly.
I was like,
exactly.
Richard was dropping some knowledge bombs.
This down here.
Mm-hmm. Lauren, there's another question for you. It was, hold on.
Accident sign, sun sign?
Yeah.
Ascendant sign, I'm sorry.
Ascendant and the sun sign.
What's the question about it?
What is the difference between the two?
Oh, the difference. Oh, okay. So the sun sign is wherever, when you're born, wherever the sun is at the moment you're born, you're in that sun sign. The ascendant is very different because the ascendant actually changes signs every 2 hours. So your ascendant is what's known as the rising sign. And it's whatever sign was rising on the eastern horizon the moment you took your first breath. And so with that, you have to know your exact birth time to find out your rising sign. But knowing that information is huge because it sets up your whole birth chart. So your rising sign ends up being your first house, and then all of your other houses are placed based on your rising sign. So as long as you can get a pretty good gauge of your birth time, like as close as possible, typically you can find it out because it's like it would only give you 3 options. You know, if you're within a couple hours, you can find out it's more likely this one. It's a question you have to ask yourself. There are also people who their job is to kind of help people figure that out. And I think it's called rectifying your chart to find out your rising sign. But your rising sign is how you show up in the world. It's how other people first see you when you walk into the room. Like that's how they perceive you, really, is a lot about what your rising sign is. And so my rising sign is like very different from my sun sign. And once I started to learn about my rising sign, it gave me so much insight to how other people take my energy in. And knowing that is huge because it's like now I have this greater sense of containment on how I show up into a space so that I make sure that I'm showing up and people are receiving me the way that I really authentically am. So,
Lauren, is my rising the Libra?
No, your rising sign is Aquarius.
Aquarius. And then my sun is,
and then your sun, and you have like, and your sun is in Libra, and you have, I think, Mercury in Libra. I think you have Venus in, I have to, you have at least 4 planets in Libra.
I got Virgo somewhere. Listen, I don't, my job is
your moon's in Virgo.
I pay you to.
Thank you. And astrology is a language. And that's the thing, when people come to me, I don't expect them to know the language. I expect them to come to me with an open mind, and I will help guide you into understanding. Like that's my job, is to help you understand your birth chart in a way that's digestible for you. Like that's my whole goal as a teacher and an astrologer.
So y'all go check her out. We put her Calendly.
Yeah, it's a weird word.
Any closing thoughts? Any mantras you want to leave us with as we're into this?
Yeah, I would say, there's so much Venus energy happening right now that like heart-centered mantras are, and I just realized I'm wearing a shirt that says love across the chest. So like, I didn't plan that, but that's spot on. Like focusing on like, I am loving. And not only that, I am capable of receiving love. That's a huge one. So like just putting your hand on your heart, closing your eyes and just thinking in your mind or repeating it out loud, I am loving and capable of receiving love. That's a super powerful one. Yes, highly recommend.
Yep. Go ahead, Johnie. What are you going to say?
Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does your chakras have an astrological placing? As in, right now, since we're in the season of love, does that go with your heart chakra? And does your crown chakra have its own season and so forth?
Yes, very much so.
I love that question because I did a podcast today on the chakra system, and I totally went into how I believe that our chakras have to do with our astrological placements. And I think that where we're deficient has to do with what we're probably more deficient in our charts. So I for sure think that there is a crossover and a correlation. Energetically, yes, like we're all experiencing when certain signs are in, certain planets are in certain signs, like Venus and Pisces, we are all experiencing this extra layer of love. So yes, it gives us like more connection to the heart space, but for some people that will be easier to access, and some people it will be more challenging depending on your own makeup, your own birth chart, and your own past, because the chakra system is formed throughout our childhood, and part of it's our story of who we are, and part of it's the stories that happen to us. So
I know we went through it during our last chakra talk. And so if anybody wants like in depth, I put the link to that in the chat.
Yeah. Awesome.
Because I was like, my brain. I've been studying this for years, and my brain is still like, I was just like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
That's exactly it. Sometimes you're not ready to like fully take stuff in, and the messages come when they'll keep coming until you're ready to like take it in, you know? Yeah. Everything happens in divine timing.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lauren.
Thank you so much. It was so fun.
Thank you for stopping in before you wrangle your baby. So we really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
See you
guys.
Soon.
Bye, guys. Lauren and I will do another chakra talk soon. We're also, I forgot to say it, she and I are also going to collab, and we're going to be doing a, what do you call it?
Live stream?
Not almost like a retreat, but not really. Webinar, workshop. God, dog, it's gonna be a long it's gonna be a long night. We're going to be doing say that word again.
Webinar.
Thank you. Coming up probably end of April. So we'll go into, but more on that to come. 13th, 28th. If you don't remember anything she just said, remember those 2 dates. That's it. So now let's get into this. Y'all know how we do.
Now that the adult has left the room.
Now that the person with maturity.
Oh, Lord.
We're about to do our thing. So do you want to, what I'll do, Johnie, is I'll pull a chakra. I'll start with the chakra. You can do oracle. Then how do you want to do it?
That sounds good.
Okay. So
I got the oracle and I got the Lenormand.
Yes.
I'm going to do one of each, and then I'm going to do one of each of these for the character.
Okay. So here's what we're doing this month. I made this up 10 minutes ago. So if it don't work, just blame me. And Johnie was sweet enough to participate in this flamfoolery and fucking, ooh, I just cussed. I was trying not to. Okay, well, bump it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our chakra reading. We're going to do our oracle. Here's what we're going to add to it this month. we're going to tell you who to watch out for. What energy, person, entity is going to push your buttons this month to the point where that love that Lauren was talking about, you're not finna give it.
Not to them.
Not to them. You may punch, you may kick, you may cuss out, but you won't have to do any of that because we're going to tell you who to watch out for so you don't have to cuss anybody out.
So that forewarned is not a forearm. There we go.
That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. So let's start this off. So hold on. I don't like this chart that I have because it's not in order. Please hold, because y'all know I don't remember the damn zodiac signs. Is this one? No, don't do it in alphabetical. Oh God. Who's the first one? Let's just do it this way. No, hold on. What are the signs of the zodiac? Because I want to make sure this is how I keep it in order so I don't screw it up.
I always just do it by element.
Yeah, and see,
never in order.
That requires me thinking. Yeah, I'm not. You've already seen how my brain is this week, Johnie.
We're going to make it through. Hold on to the morning light.
All right, Aries, Aquarius. I think Lauren told me I have some Aquarius in me. So my rising, I think she just said, was Aquarius. So Aquarius, what is your energy system looking like this month? Very nice. Very nice. First, we're starting off with some heart chakra. Forgiveness. It is okay. Like Lauren said, use that 28th to let go. Forgive. Banish any energy that no longer serves you. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. Why is it for you? When you hold on to that energy of resentment, of shame, of grief, of hurt, that's an actual energy that is penetrating you and is throwing your entire energy system off kilter. When you forgive, you are actually taking the act of releasing that energy, putting it back into the universe. So remember, energy does not dissipate, it just transfers. Thank you, Sagine, for the super chats. I really appreciate your generosity. May that be returned to you tenfold. Forgive. Let that energy go, because that's going to help you, okay? What it's also going to help you do, too, is it's going to also, that forgiveness will also then turn around and help with your solar plexus chakra. Solar plexus is your house of fire, personal power, taking action. Do the fist. Go do some dope shit this month. Aquarius, this is for you. Use your personal power. Tap into that solar plexus energy and kick some hella booty ass. You can do it. Don't tell yourself I can't, or it's hard, or I don't want to, or Becky, Ronnie, and Johnie trying to steal my flow. No, boo. You got your flow. Go use your personal power. And then last but not least, extreme crown chakra. I am presence. Find a way to detach and tune in. Stop looking for calm. Stop looking for everywhere else. You're going to have to create your calm and be your calm. And I think Aquarius, of most of the signs of the zodiac, I know you guys can do this. Okay? The rest of that out there is just noise. Dial into yourself. Be present. I am presence. Let's see who you need to avoid so you don't kick the monkey behind. This month, I'm going to pull from the middle. Oh, Lord Jesus. You got the Dawn Wine. So this is going to be somebody who is going to try, if you were, let's say you're married, your spouse may try to, how do I put this politely, use some of their seductive prowess to catch you off guard, to try to get something from you. If you are single, beware of these new people coming into your life trying to seduce you. The Don Juan energy is that shadow attribute, is that person who, I call him the siren, because I'm just kind of bringing that sexual energy that I'm going to seduce you, because when you're not paying attention and you're all in the days, they're going to put their hand in your pocket. Watch for that person. Confirm or deny that, Johnie.
So Your energy, I got extremes. This is the time to withdraw from the garbage, from the pendulum of emotions. This high and this low and this. You think that the world is a lot harder than it is. Like Adrian said, find your calm. Get away from the extremes. And then I have the child. Return to a place of innocence. Return to a place of joy and contentment within yourself. This is now the time to dial it back. Maybe you have been fighting the world a little bit too hard in these past few months. Now is the time to think about yourself a little more. You have to take care of yourself. You cannot take care of others if you do not. Now, who is there away from? The Don Juan is good. I also got the religious freak. Stay away from anybody with a bullhorn that is trying to get you to follow their message. I got the Spirit. The Spirit is not a bad card, but I also got the Martyr. So this is a person who is constantly, possibly just like the Don Juans, bringing you in to feel bad for them, bringing you in to want to do something for them, bringing you again. Now's the time for you. Now is not the time for somebody else. Mm-hmm. They want you to come in and please take care of me. And oh, I'm hurting and I'm suffering and I'm this and I'm that. Okay, you was hurting and suffering before you met me, though. And you will be hurting and suffering if I say no. And you will still be hurting and suffering if I say yes.
Yep.
Because you're just going to bounce from person to person to drain whatever you can out of them, because you're going to always be a martyr until you start to see yourself as otherwise. I can't help you see that. I'm going through my own thing right now. Mm-hmm. Now is the time for you. Dial it back. Do it right.
That spoke a little. I felt like you were attacking me personally.
Attacking you?
I was like, I don't know whether to retch through this screen and choke you or be happy at you. Because that is 100%. Again, I guess that probably speaks to me more. We'll see when we get to Libra, but I feel like that. Again, I'm feeling real personally attacked right now. All right. While I get out of my feelings, Pisces, y'all's is up. Let me get some. Oh, lovely. You've got, I love this for you, Pisces. So, I don't know how to. I do know how to put a lot of upper chakra and lower chakra and one lower chakra. So you guys know I say this all the time. I'm a broken record. Whenever you have an issue with your third eye chakra, this guy here, your third eye chakra is right here. Your perception, your ability to perceive and receive information through your psychic senses. If you do not act on these, if you take these messages, but you don't know what to do with them, the next thing that happens is your solar plexus gets jacked up, backed up like a bad case of constipation. Because what good is knowing what's going to happen if you don't act on it? Okay. Right. So this is the time for you to tighten up your your third eye chakra. I screwed this up. Because I was about to say I was going to say a joke, and then I realized it was so vile and disgusting that I need to keep it to myself. But I'm going to say it anyway. If you're think about this, there's an old remedy back in the day where your grandmama used to say, if you need to, how do I put this? Tighten some things up below your belly button, that you sit in a bathtub full of vinegar. Consider this your time to sit in a bathtub full of vinegar, but accept it's going to be for your third eye. You need to tighten this up. A lot of people ask me, how do you tighten up your third eye chakra? How do I heal my third eye chakra? It's actually really easy to an extent. You really just have to go, what is it that I'm seeing? What is it that I'm hearing? And actually stop for 14 seconds and analyze it. It's actually pretty easy. Mm-hmm. We're so, like Lauren says, we're so used to go, do, don't stop, don't question, don't think, don't breathe. And that's what causes that third eye to get jacked up and to get calcified. Another thing that calcifies your third eye is a lot of junk food, a lot of liquor, a lot of medicinals, whether legal or illegal. You may need to kind of sit back on some of that for now. So you can tighten up. Remember, act like this is a bathtub full of vinegar, except for your lowers. It's going to be for your uppers. Heal that third eye chakra. Because then the beautiful thing that happens next is you'll be deeper touch with your solar plexus. You'll be able to take, not chances, but yeah, chances, because you'll be able to make choices. It's going to feel like a chance, but really you're just making healthy choices, and you're able to do that because you're seeing clearly. And then last but not least, when in doubt, just talk to spirit, your crown chakra guidance. Just know that spirit has your back. It's not going to let you down. Whatever choices and decisions you make, base them, help tie into that third eye. So it'll be supported by your actions with your solar plexus chakra, and spirit has your back. Stay away from. Okay, how do I put this politely? There's somebody in your life that likes to tell you about you, who thinks they can tell you about you. Can't nobody tell you about you but you, boo-boo. You hear me? Watch out for that person. It's called, they're going to present themselves as the guide. Now, I have a sister like this who I will give her credit. 90% of the time, she does tell me about me, whether I want to hear it or not. But that 10% of the time, she reel off, right? Somebody has that in their life. Watch out for this person who is going to try to act as your guide, as your Sherpa, as your whatever, to try to tell you about you. You know you. You wake up with you, you go to sleep with you. You were born with you. Take what they say with a grain of salt. Beware for the person who's going to come into your life to try to act like a guide, like a shaman, like a whatever. Confirm or deny, Johnie?
So on that beginning message for your energy, I got, thank you, Lauren. I got the new moon beginnings. Now is the time to wipe away, especially distractions in anything that is darn near calcifying your third eye. Get outside. This is the garden. How do you connect with spirit? I get spiritual questions more than I get love, relationship, and advice for career and all that. I get spiritual questions more all the time because people want to know how. And it really is just that easy. Stop and listen. What are you hearing? Are you hearing nothing? That's okay too. Because what you're trying to do is hear something. Just feel what it is that's going on around you. Go outside, commune with nature, let the breeze blow. You just might hear something in the wind. People don't think you can until you do. So there is something that you need to be wiping away, whatever kind of distraction it is. Whatever kind of distraction it is, whether it's your family, whether it's the news, whether it's whatever it is, go back to the source. And mind you, it's not like you need to go get the holy revelation. Sometimes you just need to hear, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Something on the other side's checking up on you. That's all. And then you just need to know that it's there. And then, okay, this is what I need to do to get back to it. You just need the confirmation that you're okay. Sometimes that's all you need. Who to stay away from? Yeah, stay away from anybody trying to tell you about you. Stay away from anybody trying to stay away from the person who wants you or wants you to look at them as your sage, as your guide, as your whatever. This is Medusa. They don't know what they're talking about. All they want you to do is fall at their feet like the Hierophant. And this is what I want you to know. I got the Lady of Masks with this too.
Yep.
They need to fix their own life. The people who love unsolicited, who love to tell you about yourself and love to tell you about your life, love to tell you about the things you're doing and not doing, are people who want to do
what you're doing.
That very thing.
Yep. Watch that.
My father told me he wanted me, this was his plan for my life, to get married to a Black woman, have Black kids. Okay, fine. You did that. That was working for you. Go play football. He couldn't play football. He was 5'5". So that's not his thing. Go to college and do, like, he had a whole plan for me. All of it was stuff he wanted to do. Beware of the people who tempt and beware of the people who wear masks to cover up their own failings.
Yep.
Stay away from people who are giving you advice about something you don't even want to do.
Yep. And even if it's something you want to do, take it with a grain of salt because they're giving it to you from their perspective.
If you want to be a doctor and a doctor comes to you and gives you advice, take that.
Yes.
If you want to be a doctor and you're trying to get advice from the person at the meat department at your local grocery store, leave that alone. Just because they cut on things don't mean they're a doctor, okay?
I have nothing to add to that. So, Aries. Very interesting. You've got a reoccurring theme, my friend. Wish Jen Lynn were here because I would go ahead and call her out. Because she's always like, oh, I'm nervous. It's coming up to Aries. You've got a lot of third eye chakra work you need to pay attention to this month, Aries. You've got clarity and you've got psychic development. These work together. To get clarity, you've got to develop your psychic abilities. To develop your psychic abilities, you need to be clear and clear your mind. Like Johnie said, let those distractions go, free your mind, and the rest will follow. These work in tandem. Again, go meditate, go listen. Even if you hear nothing, stop eating the junk food, the salty food, the alcohol, the whatever to decalcify that gland. Work, because what's happening, Spirit's trying to tell you something. And it doesn't know how to get to you. It's trying to give you a heads up. It's trying to warn you about something. Sometimes the warning is good. It doesn't mean stop thinking it's going to be something bad. It could be, hey, that thing you're really interested in, that could be the thing that's going to change your life, dude. But I need you to pursue it, but you're too distracted. It's trying to tell you things. Develop this third eye chakra so you can receive and perceive whatever this spirit is trying to tell you to help you. Okay? And then root chakra, your family, does not necessarily have to be your birth family. It could also be your community. They may test you, but you love them anyway. And remind them that you love them anyway. You may be beefing, arguing, fussing with some of them. Life is short. Life is very, very short. We are humans. This earth is so much older than any eyelash, thought, dust that is on this earth. We blink and it's done. Touch in with your family, even the ones you can't stand. Remind them that because the thing about the root chakra, it is connection to earth, connection to family, connection to tribalism. It can help you remind you who you are and bring you calm and serenity just by going, I checked in with cousin Junebug. He's still a crackhead. Yeah, glad I didn't go down that route. My life is a lot better because I didn't do that crack. And then you're good. And then you move on. But you just got to check in and touch family. All right, who to watch out for? These needy people, these people who always want companionship, these people who are always, got to be very polite how I say this, who always need to talk, who always need to be in something, doing something, because they may be seeking entertainment, seeking companionship. And what that does is their need can cause a void in you. You don't have to be everybody's friend all the time. It is okay to walk away from the ask hole and the need hole and the can you talk what's going on if you're just tired. So watch out for that. They're going to be an unintentional energy vampire, and it's okay to turn it off.
Spirit is trying to reach you, just like Adrian said, there's change and something on the way. It doesn't know how to do it. Well, it knows how to do it. It's just finding different ways to do it because you've been closing all of these in particular doors. Now, Spirit is always going to get his message to you. You can always ignore it because most of the time, I will say this in our benefit, it is not an intentional ignoring. Sometimes life just gets in the way.
Exactly.
This is something that Spirit understands, but Spirit seems to, from a human perspective, it seems they don't take it into account. Mm-hmm. Because it's not that I can't hear you or don't want to hear you. I'm looking at this. I have my rent's due on the 1st. My light bill's due on the 1st. My water bill's due on the 5th. Like I got all of this to look at, and I know you want to give me something to gratify me, but
and I don't get paid until the 19th.
Until the 19th. That's it. So I understand Spirit wants you to be spiritually whole. And mind you, let me say this too for spirits. I'll take up for Spirit here too. It got you. No, you don't get paid to the 19th, but there are such things as payment arrangements, maybe, or whatever the case may be. You won't.
Exactly.
They won't let you fall. If it lets you fail, you'll be the first person in history. So
yep.
Here it is going to try to continue to give you the messages because these little earthly problems are beneath them. So they're not beneath us because they're in the midst of us. So we still have to deal with those, but Spirit is trying to reach you, and it is going to do it one way or the other. It's so interesting when we get to the who should you stay away from. I get the exact person you got in the last one always.
So we're always like, I'm ahead.
The know-it-all.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham and Earth. Earth is logic and reason, and then Abraham is justice and truth and duty. Stay away from the person who believes they know more than you, because this is the person who believes there's nothing else to learn.
Yeah.
They think that they have the answer to all of your problems. They think they have the answer to all of your questions, even if they just made the shit up. Stay away from that person, because that person ain't going to learn nothing from you. And yet they can. That's why they crossed your path. Because when you are crossing paths with people, there is something you are to learn from them. It is not necessarily going to be the most life-changing thing. Maybe you just need to learn another way to do your spaghetti sauce. But whatever it is, there is something you can learn from the people in your life, the people you come across with, because they have lived, 40, 50, 60 years of different experiences. And so there's always something you can learn, but stay away from the person who feels they know everything.
Yeah. We're going to come back to that archetype in a minute. So Taurus, terrific Taurus, starts off with heart chakra, passion. Do more of what makes you happy. Do more of what makes you happy. Do more of what makes you happy. Not your partner, not your children, not your mama, not your daddy, not your boss, not Junebug, Ray Ray, Bethany, Frank, and Tiffany. None of them matter. Do more of what makes you happy. Passion. That is what's going to balance your heart chakra this month. Even if it's, what made me happy a couple weeks ago was binge watching a bunch of serial killer documentaries. I don't know why, it just did. Sorry, I think May has some rage issues going on and needs to take it out through watching serial killer documentaries. Everybody's like, Adrian, that's dark. Why are you doing it? I didn't ask you. I'm telling you, it makes me happy. Do what makes you happy, even if it seems weird to others. Passion. It's going to help balance your heart chakra. Now, I'm not saying go to the extreme of watching 18 hours of Ted Bundy documentaries, but you get what I'm saying. Do what makes you happy. Also, divine consciousness. You have been not quite in sync with Holy Spirit, with universal energy. I keep hearing you may have even forsaken it a little bit, taking it for granted, like it's always going to be there. Yes, it will. It always has your back. But you need to tap into it right now. There are some things you need, some comforting and some consoling that you need. You're not going to find it in human form. You're going to find it in spirit form, divine consciousness, reminding yourself that you are made up of the exact same molecules, debris, dust, and bad air that comprises the entire universe. And it's a very humbling and beautiful experience to come back to that place. So divine consciousness. Taurus, you usually don't have many issues, but speaking and listening to divine truth, that is what you're good at. So I'm going to say keep doing it this month. As a matter of fact, you may be called upon to help others speak their truth. Why do I bring that up? Because the person you need to watch out for is the student. Not everybody is teachable, because like Lauren said earlier, you have to be ready to receive the message. Beware of the person coming to you, asking you to take them on, be their mentor, guide them, but they're not ready to listen. Because what that's going to do, it's going to drain your energy. You're going to have to start right back over with the passion card and go lock yourself in a room and watch Ted Bundy into Night Stalker for 8 hours. And that's not healthy. Take it from me, I know. It did help me, though. I felt a lot better after I went through that. But watch for the person who's trying to ask you to teach them how to do the voodoo that you do so well, because they may be trying to emulate. They can emulate, but they can never be you. So just watch out, because that may be another energy suck, energy vampire. Go ahead and confirm or denounce this, Johnie.
I'm here for both of those. I get both of those. I get extremes and the border. Mind you, this is the hot moon. The hot moon, as far as extreme goes, where the sun shines is where the moon is hottest, naturally. And so it's a constant thing, because the moon moves with the earth. It does not revolve, though. It's tidally locked, so it shows the same face to the earth. So you always see the same thing. You're always indulged in the same thing. But this is the regular part of life. This is the part of life that you have to live in public, because you don't want to be judged for who you are and what you do. Go ahead, and if you have to do it in secret, do it in secret. If you have to do whatever the case may be, but make sure you take care of you. We're back to that again. And this was the last card I got when we were talking about you taking care of you. On the stay away from, I got the exact same thing. The person the golem is the one who wants to be closest to you. This is the person he wants to be, or she who wants to be in your circle. They want to be in your friendship. They want to be in your stead, whatever the case may be, but they are not teachable. Abraham knows everything. They are not teachable. You cannot reach them, because they're not necessarily trying to be reached. They just want to be in the loop. They want to be in the Kool-Aid because they drink and flavor aid. That's pretty much it. It's like, beware of people who want to learn from you but are not teachable.
Yep. Because they'll suck it right out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll pimp slap them. And the next thing you know, you caught a case over somebody else. We should have renamed this "How to Not Catch a Case." Case. All right, Gemini. Johnie, are you ready?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So, y'all also need to work on your third eye. I don't know what y'all doing. I don't know what's going on. So notice we've gotten a lot of third eye chakras this month, which is, I think Pisces actually is part of the third eye energy. So that makes a lot of sense. Clarity, and you guys are also getting visualization. I love these two together as well. It's all about seeing shit. He, see, she, we all, she, we, she. You can see things. This is a call for you to tap into your clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is the ability to see things. Okay? Visualization. Even if you are not a psychic medium who can visually see ghosts, haints, ghouls, and hobgoblins walking through your house, which I don't wish on anyone, that's quite fine. What you're going to use this visualization is to visualize the things that you want. Remember, the 13th and the 28th are big intention setting days for this month. Visualize the things that you want. If you want to punch Ricky in the throat, visualize Ricky's throat just shutting the hell up. Therefore, you don't have to visualize socking him, because then you'll catch the case. Ricky's still going to be annoying, but you'll be in prison, right? Okay. Just visualize whatever it is you want, because that's part of your third eye energy. And then also sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is your house of emotions, fulfillment, sexuality, pleasure, all of that good stuff. Relationships. How are you? It is okay right now to extend a little extra in your personal relationships right now, Gemini. It will not come back to bite you. I know that's very hard, because it depends on which side of the Gemini you wake up on at that particular. Whatever hurts you with certain people in the past, as long as you understand that that's who they are and that's how they're going to be, you can still move through and reach out in that relationship. How do I put it? If I know my mom's crazy and I accept it, I can still call her and have a conversation with her because I know she's crazy. And I know crazy is going to come out of her mouth, and that's not going to tear me up when she says something crazy. Reach out and start. It's okay to dip into these relationships right now. It will not come back to bite you in the ass, because as long as you're doing it with pure intention, the pure intention will come back to you. Look out for the person who wants you to be their servant. Have you given a lot to certain people and you don't get that much back in return? Watch for this person, because they're going to keep coming back, asking and needing things. And I bet you money, I'm willing to take Cash App and Venmo donations right now. When they come back, you're going to go, God damn, am I your servant? Because they're going to keep asking you for things. Watch out for this person. You know who they are. They're going to rear their ugly head. Their need for things is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. I don't know what else to say.
I get attraction and the heart card. So now it is time for love, for relationships. This is the big moon, which means it is a super moon. That means it looks to be closer to the earth. This means that it will be, that's not a word, but I'm going to say it anyway, unignorable. It will be something you cannot ignore. This is going to be in your face. This is not, because Geminis are very wishy-washy sometimes. And sometimes they do not like to make, well, a lot of times they don't like to make decisions. And so when something comes up in your face, it's like, okay, so now you have to go through the loop of questioning everything. This one will be like, it's in your face. It's like, this is, you can't, what are we doing here? Like, I gave you the most brilliant of signs that you could possibly see. Why are you still questioning? That's because the way they are. Who to stay away from? The fake psychic. The thinker, the person that is in their head in the hand of fate, the person who believes that they can tell you your future. How to spot a fake psychic, that's a whole different type of conversation, but there is people who are not necessarily grounded nor gifted in their in particular media. Maybe they just need to go to a different one. And stay away from the fake psychic. Stay away from the fake spiritual leader, from the fake anybody actually that's giving you advice and you feel as though they should know it because they're in that field. Like, oh, just because you're an accountant, I think you would know things about numbers and finance. But you have, negative 38 cents in your account. Maybe I shouldn't be talking to you. So it's like, stay away from the fake expert. I'll say that.
What are some ways to, I know you said it's a separate conversation for a separate day, but I think it's a good, what are some signs to look for the fake healer, for the fake psychic, for the person who's not completely grounded, but trying to present themselves as?
Well, see, for me, I can't actually, because I've always read for myself. But the first thing that I always do is just examine the person's energy and behavior. If it feels as though they are more showman than shaman, then that's your first clue. All they care about is they're too high energy. They have no calm about them at all. And the higher the energy you are, the higher the vibration that you are, higher vibration you are, the greater the psychic you will be. The higher the energy you are, the more distraction you are, because that's all you really care about is keeping your energy high. Your energy is not your vibration. Your energy is your physical energy. Your vibration is your psychic vibration. It is usually accompanied by a low voice. So the softer a person speaks, the more they channel, because they're not actually talking. And so it's sort of just flowing out of you. Now, you could also go by and just look. No, this is more along the line for internet people, but look at their readings. How accurate are they? And I'm not talking about these Trump readings and all that kind of stuff, because those are people they've never met nor are in the energy of. But just look at how they read, though. Are they a person who is making up new things? Like I don't believe in remote viewing. I know it's a thing that people really like, but if you are a remote viewer, then you should be able to tell me what that person sees. If you are a empath, you can tell me how they feel. But those two are not the same thing. Do they read cards traditionally, or do they make it up? Because why do you need cards if you have alternative meanings? Just make up your own cards. Do they have a following of people who are conspiracy related? Or do they have people who are more grounded as well? Because grounded people attract grounded people. People who want to believe in lizard people, those people will huddle in a circle as well. I don't know. I'll have to think on that and get you some more.
It's fair. I always say, if they tell you, if they're always telling you what you think you need to hear. So, oh my God, how did you know? Oh my God, oh my God.
That's advice. That's not
advice.
readings.
That's not a reading. If they tell you something and it kind of like this, that's probably a good reader, because they're telling you something. They're seeing it. They're pulling the cards. You just haven't come to that. You haven't. It hasn't all come together yet. You're not going. The person who tells you what you want to hear, they're just trying to get you to come back and get your money.
Mm-hmm. And don't go to. You do what you want to do, but there's like this. I can find your next husband or wife, and all you need to do is buy my kit or whatever the case may be. I'll send you this love kit. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't find him. Okay, then I will send you this next one, but give me some more money. These are the people who have you now on the fish line. Yeah. Because they hooked you, and then everything that they say you now believe, because why would they tell you, something else? Just be careful is all I'm saying. Everybody's not an expert. Mm-hmm. I heard, I was told such and such has been reading for 40 years. That don't mean you've been doing it right for 40 years. Just because you've been doing something a long time does not mean you have been doing it correctly the long time. Exactly. I'm just like.
We digressed, but I think it was a very good digression and a much needed because we care about you guys. We care about who you go to and who you're getting your advice from. Mm-hmm. Speaking of advice, Cancer, here's what's about to happen to you. You've got some really interesting, again, clarity. I don't know how many times I can shuffle, but still pull this card, third eye chakra. You need clarity on a situation. You're looking everywhere and anywhere for the answers, but the answer is going to come here. It may even come through a dream. It may come through this walking, and then all of a sudden you get an aha moment. Just trust and know it will come, because this clarity card is telling you it will come. If you're trying to push it to come, it's not going to happen. But when you relinquish and release and be open and say, hey, I want to open this third eye, I want to get some answers, you will get the clarity you're asking for. Okay. Throat chakra, your ability to speak and listen to divine truth. You need to be listening to some self-help books or something business related that's going to help you launch your business. You need to be listening, taking in information that's going to help propel your life in a new direction. And that could be, like I said, taking in some self-help guidance, books, seminars. It can also be listening or doing some financial advice. But whatever you're consuming, it's going to help you get to that next level, that life purpose. It's going to help you fulfill your life and your life contract. So take in more of that. Also, sacral chakra, with inspiration, this is also about creativity. You haven't been feeling your most creative. And again, I tell everybody's creative. I know accountants that are extremely creative. They can do a pivot on a freaking Excel sheet like no other. That is their Picasso. They're a Picasso with that. That's still being creative, right? Tap into this inspiration to find ways to be creative, to help balance that sacral chakra energy. There's little children they're fighting, and they're trying to get your attention. They need to do something. They want to go out and play and frolic and play and have fun. Give them what they want by tapping into that, so you can get some inspiration to do whatever it is you need to do. Johnie pulled this. I don't remember who you pulled this for, what sign, but Cancers, watch out for the person who's going to try to be this religious figure, the monk, the nun, this person who comes in. They are so single purpose, single focus. The Bible says this, therefore this is exactly what it is. Because they're going to try to take one sentence, one thought, and they're not going to expand upon it. And they're going to use that to judge you or to tell you how things need to be going, when that's a sentence that can be interpreted 100 million gazillion times around. Watch out for the person who's going to try to come in as the monk or the nun, the actual spiritual person, the spiritual authority figure. Watch for them. Confirm or deny, Johnie?
Absolutely. First off, energy change and growth. Journeys. Now is the time for embarking on whatever it is that you have been putting on the back burner because you felt as though you didn't have time, or you didn't have time to put into it what it deserved. Now, here's the thing. I get the don't do things half-ass. I get that philosophy. But you're going to always come up with something to keep putting this on the back burner. It does not matter what it is right now. It's just going to have a different name 3 months later. Start now. And then you'll keep walking past this half-finished project and say, you know what? Let me do a little something extra, and then a little something extra, and then a little something extra, and then a little something extra. And then eventually it'll be done. Mm-hmm. Who to stay away from? The religious nut. Abraham, I know it all. Mystic circle, that's person's religious beliefs. Yeah. Stay away from them. I don't care who they are. They could be your mama's best friend that y'all have been knowing since you was a little kid, and he's the pastor at the church, but every time he come around, he'd tell you that your son got long hair and he shouldn't. Stay away from him, because that's going to keep you from Nancy Kerrigan and popping him in the kneecap with a...
I have that saved on my DVR, the What Happened to Tanya Harding. I'm going to go from Reels. I'm going to watch that tonight. Because I was a figure skater when that shit popped off. That shit hit close to home because we hated Nancy Kerrigan. She like skaters. We worshiped Tanya Harding because that bitch could jump. We were like, yo, axle too. No, and good goddamn well we couldn't even do a half axle. That's beside the point. We couldn't even do a damn waltz jump. Anybody who knows ice skating knows what a waltz jump is. That'll make one person in this chat laugh hysterically. Knowing we wanted to be Tanya Harding. How did we get on this? Oh, because you said don't Nancy Kerrigan somebody. Yes, don't go for their kneecaps.
Stay away from them.
Stay away from them. All right, luscious Leos, what you guys got cooking this month? It is okay to show some love. I love this card. Side note. So my JOB got a they call him a rehabilitation dog. And this dog is supposed to go out and like work with first responders and like anybody with PTSD. And I was thinking like, oh, like Johnny's, when he did his live thing and we're like donating to puppies. And I was all excited. I was like, okay. And I'm thinking like, because again, this is going to be with first responders. I thought they were going to get like a golden retriever or like a freaking German shepherd, because all canine cops are German shepherds, or like a freaking, I don't know. I just thought we were going to get this, this hard ass dog. Why these bitches wouldn't got a fucking poodle?
Poodles are very intelligent, I think. Well, I mean, most dogs are, but
a poodle though.
Come on with the golden retriever, at least. Like that's the OG of service dogs. Right?
But you got a poodle and it's a puppy. So when we first saw the picture, we thought we had a goddamn toy poodle. I'm like, how you gonna take a toy poodle?
Oh,
Thank you, Desiree, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you immediately while I go on this little rant. So I had all my employees today had to listen to me bitch about this dog. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, you didn't get a golden retriever. You got a damn poodle. There's nothing wrong with poodles, right? However, when you're
get the golden retriever. Or a Dalmatian, at least.
and he's a puppy. Like, we look like punks.
They are very smart, though.
You didn't get a Labradoodle.
Mm-mm.
You got a freaking poodle. You know how, okay. I've been pissed off. I've been pissed off about that because I'm the one who's got to do the advertising campaign for this fucking pool. Okay. Leo's love. Do the opposite of what I'm doing right now. Find some love. It is okay to love. This is I'm actually hearing this is your month for love. Pisces, right? This is great love energy. Invite this into your life and it will be returned to you. You're going to have an abundance. Becca, at least if it was a damn Chihuahua. Chihuahuas are mean and feisty, but a poodle? Okay, anyway, I'm throwing cards. Invite the love in. It will come back to you. Love, heart chakra. Thank you, Chris, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you tenfold. Leo, let's talk about your throat chakra. You always talk about, well, I wish a motherfucker would. Then when the motherfucker does, you have to go me. I love Leos, but that's what y'all do. I wish a motherfucker would. And then I'm like, all right, do it. And then y'all like, I'm like, but the motherfucker did. And y'all just like, use your throat chakra. Speak divine truth. If the motherfucker does, then he did, and call him on it, and you will be supported. You know how you're going to be supported? Because you tapped into that root chakra and you're taking action. Take action. Now is not the time in this Pisces season to be meek, to be anything you need to do. Go ahead and cross that off your to-do list. I think Johnie was talking about that earlier with Cancer energy. Start building the building blocks to do things. You will be supported. Watch out for the victim this season. The people who always claim victim. Everything happened to them, not for them. Watch them, because you know what? That's a motherfucker who will and who do. So watch out for the victim mentality from that victim frequency.
I get now is the time to comb your mane, get you some head and shoulders, fluff it out, and step out. There's a difference between buried and planted. Sometimes you are not buried underneath your life, your dirt, your anxiety, your stress, your family, your self-esteem. Sometimes you are just planted. Your time will come. You just have to realize that. Here at the garden, get amongst the people who think like you. That is the first step to overcoming adversity.
Yes.
It's to finding like-minded people, because guess what? They've been through it too. This is how you know you're not alone. This is how you know how to get over what you need to get over. Human beings could exist one at a time, and that person would always fail and probably jump off the bridge. The reason we're all here together is because you need to find like-minded people. I'm not saying crazy people. You don't need to find a Quackernon rally. What you need to do is find people who have suffered the same trauma, the same whatever. That way, when it's your time to sprout, you are ready to go, and you have a support system to make sure that you are still on this side of the ground. You are no longer buried nor planted. You are now ready to go. Stay away from the helicopter person, the helicopter parent, the helicopter boss, the helicopter whatever, because they too are an eternal victim. They are a person who is constantly trying to shield you from the rest of the world because they don't want what happened to them to happen to you. Now, they may mean well, but this is suffocating. The eternal servitor and the shield, this person will always be by your side to make sure you don't cross the street without looking. Meanwhile, you live on a dirt road and there's no cars within 9,000 miles of you. So you have to make sure that you are not being suffocated by the people around you and that that person understands boundaries. Sometimes it is very hard because they mean well. And it is hard to tell a person who means well, stop it. You're annoying me. I know you mean well. I know you're trying. I know all this, but it is annoying the crap out of me. Tell them to stop.
That same sister who tries to tell me about me is the same sister who I am damn near 40 years old, who will still reach and grab for my hand when we're about to cross the street. Bitch, you got children. You got a 9-year-old. Hold that little motherfucker's hand. But I get it. She means to her, I am not 40-year-old Adrian. I'm still 2-year-old Adrian.
My brother is the same way.
She means well. But so that again, I felt like you were speaking to me personally on that one.
Let me go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Get off at midnight, but not come home till 12:45. Mm-hmm. I was wondering where you were. You see how fucking big I am. Let them. I wish a mother sucker would. I got more knives on me than Bruce Lee. I guarantee. Okay.
You were saying QAnon earlier, Quackanon. Side note, and I've meant to text this to you and Jace and Jen Len. So, you know, they did show up. It just wasn't on the news coverage because God bless the news. They came out in their full forces to, I guess, try to watch something that didn't happen. Anyway, so they were walking around in these, speaking of, I wish a motherfucker would, they were walking around in these streets trying to terrorize us. And I'm like, do you not know we're DC? Talking about more knives than Bruce Lee. So they were walking through the neighborhood, not knowing that they were in the neighborhood, and we're like, I hate you all, you're gay sympathizers. And I'm like, did you just tell him who just sucked the other one's pee-pee that he's a gay sympathizer? Really? And so, like, a few of my friends got harassed this week, just trying to go home. And I'm like, I need y'all. Is it Friday yet? Can y'all leave? Like, seriously.
See this? I say this. I'm gonna say this 2 more times at least. They are not brave. Do not be afraid of these. I don't care if they walk around with a gun bigger than them. They not fighting ISIS, so you're not brave. Number one. Number two, when the cops show up, y'all go away. So you definitely scared of the police, which means you're scared of jail, which means you ain't no thug, which means you ain't tough. Number three, you didn't go to the hood where the Crips and the Bloods and the Juanitos are and try this mess. You went down to the neighborhood with people with light skin like you. Well, oh, I'm going to go and terrorize you. Okay, try that down there with them people who can't seem to pull their pants all the way up. Go try that with them and see if he don't beat you up, take your shoes and your gun.
Going to the neighborhood where an average 1-bedroom, 450 square foot studio is selling for $1 million is not the area you like, really. And
try that.
Okay.
Guarantee you.
Okay. Anyway, Virgo. Hi, Virgo. You guys got some lower chakra work. Extreme root chakra, Mother Earth. Go hug a tree. Go hug a tree. You need to ground yourself right now, Virgo. You're everywhere. Your energy is high, low, in between. If you're having a hard time calling your energy, claiming your own energy, the best way to do that is go outside for a few cat snatching moments, get some rays of sunshine, touch the grass. It's almost springtime, and just go be with Mother Earth. You need to ground. What this is really telling you is that you need to ground yourself. You're going in a bunch of different directions. You need to, the way to slow down is through grounding yourself. And the beautiful thing about this card is it's not saying you got to go sit in a cave for 8 months and meditate. It's just saying to go outside because that's Mama Earth. Go be with Mama Earth. Creativity through your sacral chakra. Are you trying to find resolutions to problems? Don't worry, they will come as long as you're creative. Don't keep putting yourself in the same box. I know Virgos tend to be very A thinking and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's not going to help you right now, boo-boo. Use some creativity to help you get through and to get the answers you need to your problems. Last but not least, solar plexus chakra, divine wisdom. Again, once you hug a tree, once you use creativity to get to your resolution, then you're going to have some divine wisdom that answers the things that you need are just going to start coming to you. They'll be there and you'll be able to take action. Sounds crazy, mythical. It really isn't. Really, you just need to go outside, take a deep breath, go paint something, color something, think about how you need to be creative, and then go take action and go do it. Pretty simple. Okay, Spirit. You done told these people to go to Mother Earth, but now you're telling these people to watch out for the goddess, the person who's going to have watch out for the hippies. Because they don't know what they're doing either. Beware of the person who, that's interesting. Okay. Not every person with dreadlocks who doesn't shape their armpits, who wears patchouli, is grounded. They may be trying to put that game out there that they are the most connected. There's this guy I follow on Instagram. Everybody loves him. He's super, he follows the prototype, but it's the first one to put out conspiracy theory, crazy jargon. Be careful of the person who's presenting themselves as that woke-tep, hotep, hippie spiritual child, because they are human just like you, and they've got their own things that they need to work on. So watch out for that.
See, I got the same kind of thing to where it said, do this, not that. And then it said the exact thing anyway. But I do get hug a tree. That is a good thing. Go love creation. Go love nature. Go love. There is so much energy outside that it is impossible to feel bad if you connect to nature. Now, you will still have problems. But the moment you put your hands in the dirt, the moment you can literally hug a tree, there's so much energy inside of a tree, you have no idea. There is a bond with nature because you are a natural creature. I know there's this, not a conspiracy, there is this thought that we are the aliens because nothing on Earth looks like us and so forth and so forth. And apes, but they can't talk, they can't build museums and so forth and so forth. Therefore, we must be the outsider. No, because this planet can heal us. This planet, we come from it. We look like it.
We're made of the shit that it's made out of.
Yeah, the dirt and the sand looks exactly like you. So you are from here. You are to connect to here. You are to be with creation. El Shaddai, there is God. And then there's the golem. Who to stay away from? No, not to stay away from God, but to stay away from, what did you say? From the person who fits the archetype.
Yeah.
From the person who, from the person who fits the archetype, the person who looks the part, but has none of the tenets of the actual part. Mm-hmm. It is, there is this, the person I worked with, that I had a crystal and it had a pentacle with it too. And of course, pentacles, to people who do not know, looks like a symbol of the devil, right? Because they don't know what a pentacle is. And so there is this, because that person was super religious and, they're saved and sanctified and Holy Ghost filled and shout out. Oh, okay. I get it. That's fine. That's wonderful. You're going to heaven when you die. But what you do not know is that everything that you know about religion is not sufficient to call yourself a Christian. What you know is passages in the Bible you learn once a week. When you leave church, you don't read the Bible until you come back to church. Therefore, you are not in a position to tell me nothing about what's around my neck. Because you have a cross around your neck. That is a symbol of suffering. That is not what Jesus is currently doing. That is something he did to free you. Now, this is not a symbol of your freedom. That is a symbol of his sufferance. That is not something you should be elevating and praising. That's not a good thing. What they did to him was horrible. That is a symbol of suffrage. Mind you, there was 2 thieves on crosses as well. Which one are you worshiping?
Okay.
So there is this holier than thou, this person who believes they know everything about El Shaddai, El Elyon, whatever you want to call them. They know more about it than you do, but the only time they talk to God is on Sunday. So go hug a tree. This is where God actually is. He does not live in a church.
I love that. I love that, Johnie. That's right.
Your proof.
That's your proof. He made you of the same shit.
The exact same.
That he made this whole universe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did we do that? Was Virgo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh hell, we're on Libra because I hate the cards that I pulled. I didn't realize it was for Libra.
Well, let me get my tea.
Yeah, because I need to talk to me about me right now. And Jace and Becca, let's and Lori Kettle. All right, so I can definitely attest to this right now. Because I have been the whole of the ass.
You're the whole of the ass variety.
Honest. Which is probably why Jace has been checking in with me almost every day this week. Adrian, you good? I'm like, why does she keep I'm fine? I'm like, oh, because she's an empath and she knows I've been the whole of the entire anus this week. Okay. This is the heart chakra. Thank you, Steph Star. Thank you so much for the super chat. May that be returned to you most expeditiously. Heart chakra. We need to work on our ability to give and receive love. Give love without expectation. Receive love without guilt. I have been, yes, 100%. We do. We need to give love without expectation. We need to receive love without guilt. That's it. We need to balance our heart chakra. We also have a third eye and solar plexus combo. First thing we're getting is intuition. How can we tighten and strengthen our intuition? Maybe we also need to sit in a vinegar bath, tighten and decalcify that pineal gland. I know mine is, I'm not going to say calcified, but I could stand to get away from I ate a whole bag of chips for lunch. I could stand to get away from the junk food, I made a really bomb ass sangria this week, y'all. It was delicious. I probably need to put those away to make sure that I can get back into making sure that I'm at my optimal when it comes to intuition. Then once we strengthen that, this is what I love. I'm going to make this turn from shit to sugar for us, Libra. So let's work through this. Mm-hmm. That can help with our self-esteem. Okay, how is it going to help with our self-esteem? When we strengthen our intuition, with Libras, we are so fact-based and driven-based and got to know it and see it. Once we can help strengthen that, how it's going to help our self-esteem is just going to make us feel better. Like, I can see this coming. Therefore, I can take a deep breath. Hey, you know what? I may be able to do this because I was able to see it. I was able to predict it, and I was able to act on it, and therefore I feel better. That's how it's going to strengthen our self-esteem. So work on our heart chakra, which means I need to stop watching Ted Bundy documentaries. Work on our intuition. And by working on our intuition and strengthening that, that's going to help boost our self-esteem and our solar plexus chakra, our ability to act. We need to watch out for the trickster. Okay. The trickster actually is the person who, you know it. He's the Eddie Haskell. For those of you who know Leave It to Beaver, You are predictable. You know when Eddie Haskell is complimenting you, you know he's about to stick that knife in your back. He's about to, because what's going to follow that compliment is some fuck shit that's about to come out of his mouth. Watch for these people, because they do tend to grade us, even though we know they're predictable and we prefer predictability because we're that scale and those balance. It's still going to irritate us nonetheless. So watch out for him, because again, I love Libras and we're so nice. But once we're like Johnie says, once we're done with you, we'll kill you. And I'd hate to see me, Becca, Lori, or Jace go to jail this week. I really.
So correct me if I get this wrong. If you have a problem with your third eye, you more than likely have a problem with your solar plexus, and vice versa.
Yes.
So your third eye, your solar plexus, there's your will.
Yeah.
Why? Let me, again, if I get this wrong, because your gut instinct is tied to your psychic ability. That's the basis of it. Your access to information is tied to your will, to your gut instinct, to that in which you want to do, to that in which you can access and actually do. If you have a problem with your third eye, you more than likely have a problem with your solar plexus, because you are not trusting your own self. You need to, whatever you need to clear the both or clear out. It's more than likely something out here. External always affects internal. So you need to clear out whatever this is. And the person that you need to stay away from is going to tell you what it is. Stay away from whatever this is. Who is this? This is you.
Oh, damn. What?
It's a mirror. Take the mirror and turn it around. Whatever you do, take it and break it, take it, and whatever it is you need to do.
How the hell am I going to stay away from me?
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
The sage, listen to the sage. The leper king and the knight. This is the person who is a staunch defender of their ideas to themselves. I need to do this. It has to be right. I have to do this. Otherwise, I failed. I have to do that. I have to stick to this plan. I have to. This is the sword of law, it says. Mm-hmm. The person who is hardest on a Libra, they're supposed to be balanced with the scales. Meanwhile, there's nothing in the scales. They determine which one goes up and which one goes down. Mm. If you want to, you can throw your own life out of balance. You are the person that is holding you back. Mm-hmm. Libras get in their own way because in their mind, they are about to execute X, Y, and Z. Mm. Sometimes life says, hey, you know what? Maybe you should start with A, B, and C. Mm. And then you say, well, I want to start with X, Y, and Z because that means I'll be done. That means I'll have this and I'll be 100% complete. Meanwhile, that's the person that's holding you back because you are afraid that somebody else is going to mess it up, and you are afraid that whatever, or I'm going to mess it up, and so I have to do it in this exact formula and it's exact. No. If you have a problem with your solar plexus, you have a problem with your third eye because you are not trusting your will. You are trying to get into your own way by completing your own projects or whatever the case may be. Tell this person to go sit the hell down and then trust that you know what you're doing. Do not try to formulate everything. Everything does not have to be in a list. Just do it. You do not have to formulate everything. Just do it. You already have the answer. That's why you're starting to do whatever it is you want to do in the first place. Your worst critic is in the mirror. Tell that hoe to go sit down somewhere. There you go, Libra.
I've never wanted to punch you and cry and hug you so much. Yeah, we're going to talk off camera about that because that's a little too Moving right along. What's after Libra? All right. I just need another, hold on. I just need another quick moment. Somebody just told me. Very accurately. I know, Jace, that was personal AF. All right. We're going to talk after. We can talk. Scorpio, you are also getting some inspiration. You're needing to find that inspiration, Scorpio. Thank you, Stacy A, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you right now. Inspiration. Let's tap into let's help heal. You are having, okay, this is what I love. Scorpios, you tend to use your sacral chakra for the act of satiating your sexual desires. I love Scorpio, but that's what y'all do. Okay? Let's use this sacral chakra for a little something other than humping. Okay, let's use it to find some inspiration. Let's be creative. Let's do something let's use this sacral chakra energy a little bit different. Let's use it to inspire you. Normally it inspires you to hump. This time, let's have it inspire you to do something different, something transformational, something fun, okay? And I bet you will enjoy it as much as you enjoy that other act that you use your sacral chakra for. You also need to ground. Extreme root chakra. Go out, and this is actually a tree that you may need to not just hug, but go sit under for a few minutes. It's going to start warming up by the time we're done with the end of March. You may get 1 or 2 warm days. Go use that as an opportunity to sit under the tree. You need a little bit more grounding. That's just as simple as hugging a tree. You may actually need to sit and commune. Let the roots of that tree sit up under your bum and help actually bring you and balance you and ground you back down to Mama Earth. Go ground yourself. You also need to work on this forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for you to release that energy that is just stagnating and holding down your heart chakra. Forgive whatever that transgression was or is. Let it go. And is it that you need to forgive yourself? We are the hardest to forgive. It doesn't matter if you're mad at somebody. Actually, not forgiving yourself is worse. Mm-hmm. Let it go. As my mom used to say, let it flow so you can grow. Who this child here? Oh, okay. Okay. Watch out for the person who acts like they don't need you or who acts like they're out and they're the loner. This is what this child orphan energy is. It is the person who is very independent, who wants to go at it alone because they've had no choice. They feel like they can't depend on anyone, so they have to do it themselves. Because that can also get wrapped up into the martyrdom syndrome. Watch out for that person. That may be somebody that he or she is going to be a siren to you. They're going to call and you're going to be like, ooh, I like that. You know, what is that song? Hold on. Oh shit. She fancy, huh? You know, long hair. Shit, I can't think of the lyrics. That's going to be the person that's going to draw you to, because you're going to think they're independent. They've got it. They don't need anybody. They can go at it alone. I can invite this person into my space because they're not going to need anything from me. They're also going to make you feel inadequate because they don't need anything from you. So watch your motivations and your motives behind going after that kind of person, because you're going after them because you think they need something and you think that's attractive. That's going to end up hurting your feelings. Please confirm or deny this. Johnie?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that and go even a step further.
Thank you.
Scorpio. It is now time for you to access a different way of thinking. You right now may be going through a situation where you feel as though you failed at something. This is the card Beauty. This is not a face, but that's what it looks like. It's flowers and butterflies and stems and twigs and everything else. Or you can see the beauty in this and make a face. Access a different way of thinking. This is now time for you to forgive yourself first. The person you need to stay away from is you in your lowered vibrational self-esteem. This is something that is self-inflicted. Because you know how to get over this. This is the exile. You feel as though you have been singled out, picked out to be picked on, or pushed out, or whatever the case may be. Here with the Ninth, you thought you had it going, and then here with the exile, you failed, and now all you can think about is the trauma of failure. But think about it in a different way. There was I heard this from Sunny Hostin, actually, from The View. And she says that there are no mistakes. There's just a decision you made based upon the information you currently had. If it doesn't work out, okay, fine, it didn't work out. But based upon the information I had, this is the decision I made. It's just a chance you take. That's what life is, period. You take a chance even walking outside that, a meteor is not going to fall out of the sky or whatever the case may be. But just think about life in a different way. Pick yourself up and keep it moving.
Side note, I found out the lyrics. Oh, you fancy, huh? You fancy, huh? Nails done, hair done, everything did. That's what it was.
You see, I always messed it up because I thought that's what it was. But see, there's a song by, oh Lord, I almost said Tanya Hardin.
She did have a girl group for a while.
There's a song by LaToya Luckett from Destiny's Children.
Mm-hmm.
And in the lyrics, it says, nails done, hair did, dress flyer than a kite. Okay. So that's what kept running through my mind. I'm like, this is not the song though. Okay, I got it now.
It was, I was like, I know the song because one day I got into work early and I was pulling into the parking garage and I was listening to Sirius and I think that song had just come out at the time. So I'm bumping it. I'm like, nails the egg. I mean, windows rolled. And this is when I had my hoopty that literally was held together by duct tape. And I pull into the parking lot and my boss is like, I was like, oh, what are you doing here? Yeah, I know you hired me. You thought I had class. Don't. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius. Let's talk about you. Physical health. This is all about body image and vitality. There's a disconnect between what you think is healthy body image and what actually is vitality. You need to be drinking the protein shakes, taking the vitamins to be healthy, to have vitality, not to be skinny or to have a certain body image. If you focus more on vitality and health, the body image will come. You're kind of doing it backwards. You're focusing on, I need to look this way. That equals to healthy and vitality, when actually, if you focus on being healthy, the body image will be there. Because if you do not, you will not have physical health. You will actually be ingesting, doing things that actually counter that. I remember when my mom took Fen back in the day before we knew the side effects about Fen, except for we found her on the bottom of the damn staircase, had no idea what the hell was going on. Because she was focused on the body image and not vitality. I got a friend now who's drinking all that sea moss, sea green. I'm sorry. Because I'm going to hell for saying this.
Is it like skin tea?
She almost boo-boos on herself.
Yes, that's all it make you do.
Assume just.
It's easy to lose weight if you spend 24 hours in the toilet.
She's like, well, y'all, this stuff is making me gassy. And we're like, you still doing all that moss? And she didn't move. And then she did like this and then went. I can't. Okay. So she is thinking is helping with her vitality, and all it's doing is making her shart on herself. Now, when she came back on camera, she had to say, okay, she said she just, she heard the phone or whatever. No, we know what happened. And check them drawers. We know what happened. Because you were gone way too long to have been checked. Your phone is right here, Heifer. Your phone is right here. But you did this, and then we hear, and then it's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then you hear that SpongeBob like 5 minutes later. She comes back. It's like, hey guys, and we're like, you did it on yourself. I know you did it on yourself. Because my other friend Shantae, God bless, she's such an asshole. As soon as Chris got back on camera, Shantae was in the middle of the scene. She goes, yeah, see, that's why I don't fuck with that CMOS shit. Anyway, so okay.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my solar plexus hurt.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I laughed this hard when it happened, and I am laughing this hard now. That story is still funny to me. Okay. Oh, no. That's amazing how all of that came out with physical health. So don't focus too hard on the physical. Just be careful. Focus on being healthy. Don't take it to the extreme. Okay. Throat chakra, sound. Everything has a sound. Every sound is a frequency, a vibration that is put out into earth. Listen to sounds. Johnie, you had to.
Now you're going to talk about sounds. I can't. We're like, what did you do, bitch? I heard that. What was happening? Okay. Oh, I'm gonna be adult.
Why? It's so much fun you're not. Okay, yeah. Listen to good sounds that make you happy other than farts. I need to keep going because I'm about to die. Third eye chakra. Had your third eye chakra been tuned in, you would have known that drinking too much damn sea moss was gonna make you dookie on yourself. Mm-hmm. In all seriousness, you need this is calling you to balance your entire third eye chakra, being able to perceive and receive information. Like Johnie was saying earlier, stop second guessing yourself. You're getting this information for a reason, and that reason is to help you, not hurt you. Especially young psychics, it's very, I was working with a client Tuesday. It's very challenging when you can see things and get information sometimes, and that information is not always good. Like when you know somebody's gonna possibly pass away or something like that, that's hard to deal with. But the information you're given, the skill, the trait that you have, it is a gift, it is a skill. Tighten it up. The mantra for tonight is treat that third eye like a lower body vinegar bath and get it tightened up. You also need to stay away from the companions. If your companion also drinks a bunch of sea moss, y'all might not be good together. Look out for the person who always wants to be needed, be with people, be around that energy vampire, because that's going to drain you. Watch out for that. Not everybody who's looking for companionship needs to get it from you.
So there's an ending and a beginning. Everything that ends has a beginning to something else. Nothing is ever just ended. When things go from an ice cube, it turns into water, from water to vapor, from vapor to back to water cycle. So it's everything has a beginning to something else. Accept that. Accept the new beginning. Do not fight progress. Do not fight change. Because guess what? Both progress does not always happen because you can fight that, but you do not need to because progress is good. Change is going to happen whether you accept it or not.
Exactly.
Just like that is going to happen whether you accept it or not. The world still turns. If you try to go in the opposite direction, you're still going in the same direction because it didn't ask you. It's going to change anyway. Stay away from the people who feel like they always want to be in the midst. The golem again, this is your best friend. This is the short-sighted narcissistic person, though. Stay away from the person who always wants everything you do to be about them.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, such and such, where are you going today? Oh, I think I'm going to the mall. Oh, don't go to the mall. I don't want to go to the mall. Let's go to Subway. Bitch, you called me. Why I'm changing my plans because of you?
And maybe I want some fake tuna fish, bitch. You ever think about that?
Or the person who calls you and then wants you to leave your house to go spend money somewhere. Like every time I leave, no. Unless you paying for it, no. So beware of the person who always want to be in the midst and change your plans and is short-sighted and narcissistic.
Yeah.
Beware. That's for anybody. Beware of that person.
Yeah. I done coughed up all the phlegms and lungs. Laughing up. And I didn't check because Chris does watch my channel. I did not check to see if she was in the. You know what?
Get a text message in a minute.
Oh. Everybody, I dookied on myself. I didn't. Well, you know.
Just like that this person in Florida, they was doing the skin tea, and I'm like, you can't leave the house though, and no, you can't drink it every day because you're gonna have to go to work eventually.
Now, I did teach my coworkers like two roles ago about ballerina's tea, which is basically like smooth. Anybody who's had smooth move, but smooth move to me, it's a laxative tea. Smooth move does cause the cramping and the bloating and the pain, so you know when it's about to happen. My coworkers got mad at me because they said the ballerina's tea does not do that. I was like, oh, wouldn't you want it to? They're like, no, because I didn't know that when I had to go, and things almost got serious. You like okay, yeah, my bad. So again, that's another one. You can't really leave the house for about 2 to 3 hours. So everything just kind of works itself out.
Apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar makes
you lean over things, gonna get a little moist. So.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us for an hour and 57 minutes. If you are a Capricorn and waited this entire time, I thank you. Because here we go. Capricorn, your inner child. This can either be about healing, doing some inner child work. This can also be about play and having fun. But this, I'm feeling like there needs to be some healing. Does everybody in the chat know about the inner child work, the inner child exercise you can do? I'm a counselor, I do this a lot. I've done this for many clients, and I cannot tell you how many therapists have made me do this for me. Think about an experience you had as a child. It was traumatizing. It was hard. Go and hug yourself. Go relive that moment and be the adult, the human, the friend, do whatever you needed to yourself at that time. That is the best way to heal. And you don't even realize how big that wound was. And she can go back and revisit it and heal it. Sometimes I still have to tell little Adrian that things will be okay, because little Adrian is still trapped inside of big Adrian, who does not realize why I react or get fearful of things. It's because I still need to heal some of that inner child work. Helps you grow and have a healthy heart chakra. So do some inner child work. Go tell little you that it's going to be okay in a time when you needed the adults to tell you it was going to be okay. Also, you can be like Chris and start drinking sea moss to do some more holistic health, but I just say don't go overboard. Now is the time to look at alternative health. It is okay to go do a Reiki session. Reiki is not witchcraft. It's actually been around as long as humans have existed form of healing. Go do acupuncture. Do another form of treating yourself other than the traditional taking the medicine, whatever. Your body will help you. Your body can heal itself for the most part, for most things, if you give it the opportunity to do so. It's funny, we started, this card was for the beginning when we had Aquarius, and it's very funny, we're ending with the same card for Capricorn. I am presence. Stop looking for peace and calm in everywhere, anywhere, but within you. You're going to have to call it in and bring it in and claim it. Okay? You are presence. Be the presence and the calm that you need. Oh. Do tell. Wow. Huh. How is this negative, though? I mean, it doesn't have to be negative, but watch out for your mentor. Your mentor is not they're a person who you look up to, who can help you answer some questions, but they may not be able to answer all questions. Your mentor may not have gone through exactly the same thing you're going through. It is okay to take on new perspectives and new information. So watch out for your take what your mentor says is not the end all be all end.
And there's Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist. He says with role models or mentors that you should not worship the person, basically. I'm paraphrasing now. Take what you want from people. You have Jeff Bezos' business acumen. Take that from him. That way, when he messes up in his human life, you're not disappointed because you just wanted the business acumen. And then you take the entertainment value or the hard work of Beyonce, and then you take the personable and good nature of a Mother Teresa or whatever. That way, if you learn something about each one of these people that doesn't mesh with your jive, then you're not completely disappointed. You have constructed your own role model and your own mentor. I get exactly that with the self-love. Go inside. Mm-hmm. My prayer before I start my readings, a section of the prayer in way, I asked God, I asked Spirit, whatever you want to call it, to charge my light. Because you are actually light. You are a light being. You are born from the sun. The sun gives off matter and antimatter. And those antimatter and matter particles come together and they make light. So every now and then, that light produces just a matter particle and not the antimatter. So it has nothing to cling back to go back to light. That matter particle is everything you see. You are literally born out of the sun. Everything is. And so now you need to go inside and charge that light. That way, you know that you're still worth it and you're still, you are the most necessary thing in the world for your survival. So this is the person you need to take care of first. Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is necessary. So charge your light. Who to stay away from? Anybody blocking you from anything you want to do that is not harmful to you and yourself. Hindrance and the keeper of whispers, the person who is literally trying to sabotage you. There's a lot of them in this world, and sometimes they do it on purpose. Sometimes they don't know they're doing it because they're trying to get ahead of themselves or whatever the case may be. But stay away from them and make sure that they stay away from you. Because I can get you out of jail.
All that. 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 17 seconds, including an in-depth astrology reading. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Happy Women's History Month to all of you. Johnie just put the link to Lauren's Calendly again to book an astrology session. Please go show our friend some love. Show our other friend, Jace Ernaj, some love tomorrow and tune in for Petit Party at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank God we're doing it on this week because next week we go forward an hour and I'd be real bitchy. So I hate an hour of sleep. But check Jace out tomorrow night and then please go show Becca Johnie and Jinlin Love Sunday night on Becca's channel for their Sunday night political reads. And then check Johnie out sometime next week because he's going to do his own little non-political reading. So check that out.
I have to find a person to actually read with first. So it's not, I don't have a date.
Okay. Well, once he finds said person, he will make the announcement. Well, you know how he does. He just goes live and then we sit there and we talk about food and readings and do how we do. That's why we love you, Johnie. Thank you for joining me again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next month. Take care of yourself first and foremost. Focus on yourself this month. Next month, we'll try to take care of others, okay? Bye, guys.